Ross Chastain has issued a statement after he was involved in a wreck on the last lap of the race at Texas Motor Speedway that saw him turn a potential second place finish into a 32nd place finish. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. This is what Ross had to say. He says, definitely not the result our WWEX group team deserved, but really happy with our speed. Phil called another great race to get a stage win, and we were in a position to go for it at the end. Love the fight our Team Trackhouse group has right now. We're ready for Talladega. So obviously it looks like he is putting it behind him and looking forward. I am sure that if Chastain does any kind of press over the course of the week, if he's on SiriusXM NASCAR radio, or if they get him on for whatever Fox's 6 o'clock programming is called that they do every single night. I think it's called Race Hub. If they get him on Race Hub or something like that, I'm sure they will ask him what his thoughts are on what happened on that last lap contact between him and William Byron, and saw Chastain end up in the fence. And if we don't get it during the week, I am sure Bob Pockrass and the rest of the NASCAR media will be asking him when they have their first practice session at Talladega. You can be sure he's not going to be able to avoid being asked what his thoughts were. Obviously, we didn't get to see anyone. I didn't see anyone ask him any questions following the race. I'm not sure if that's because he was in the infield care center and the media was focused on other people, because I noticed they also didn't talk to Ryan Blaney after his accident with Ryan Preece, and no one talked to Ryan Preece either on that, which I was kind of surprised. I felt like those were big storylines that the media kind of didn't really touch on. Obviously, we got the interviews with William Byron, and he said that it was just racing, but Jamie Little didn't even ask him about the contact, and I thought that was just wild that she didn't ask about that. It was Byron that actually had to bring it up and talk about it at the very end of his interview. I think it was like the last 10 seconds or whatever. But obviously he did address it with other members of the media. And he said it was just racing. But let's take a look at exactly what happened. This is from NASCAR over here. Here is the restart. Ross Chastain obviously in that blue number 1. Chase Elliott in the number 9 Hooters car, and William Byron is right behind Ross in the Liberty University sponsored vehicle. So look pretty clean restart here. 3 wide there in the back. Ross tries to stay on the outside of Chase there. Gets a good run going down the backstretch. Actually pulls ahead. Chase with some contact there to the left rear quarter panel. Really slows up Ross there. Ross was a ton of time through the corner there, so 3 and 4. Chase pulls to maybe a 1-2 car lengths lead. And then you see Byron there really cuts the nose off of Keselowski. Keselowski almost looks like he has to check up a little bit. Ross stays high there in the turn, and then bang! Byron makes contact with his bumper, spins him into the outside wall, comes down. Caution is out. Chase Elliott wins the race because they were in NASCAR overtime. And once you take the white flag, the last flag ends it, or the next flag ends it. Here is another look at this. This is the in-car camera between Ross Chastain and William Byron. Ross at the top, William Byron on the bottom. See what happens here. So you can see Ross drifts up there because you can see those like black dotted lines. He does drift up a little bit. And then Byron obviously just hits him, runs into the back of him, spins him out. But it does look like, I think, Ross drifts up just a touch. If we back it up right here. So focus on these like kind of black dotted lines that you can see kind of through Ross's windshield. I didn't back it up enough. Let me go back here. So focus on these black dotted lines. You see Ross goes up above them, and then he kind of comes back down the track there just a tad. And I think he slows up significantly, and Byron just has a huge run, and they make contact with each other. And so I actually agree with Byron that it was just racing. I think a better look at it is here. This is the Fox footage where you can really kind of see Chastain drift up a little bit too. So here we go. Byron gets the big run on the outside of Keselowski and then kind of chops his nose a little bit right there. Keselowski gets the let up. Coming through the turn. Chase is just pulling away. And right there, I think you see it. Like, so you can see like Chase you see Ross just right there. He wiggles a little bit, lets up, and you can just see how quickly Byron closes and is into his rear bumper there. Like I said, I do think this was just kind of a racing incident. I don't think there was really any malice involved at all. Right there, you can see his rear end is wiggling a little bit as Byron comes up and then really makes his rear. He stops the wiggling of the rear end, but he sends him into the wall there. But I definitely feel like it was a racing incident. I agree with William Byron. I do find it interesting that Ross doesn't comment on it at all. Obviously, he just says he's definitely not the result our team deserved, but really happy with our speed. They did indeed have good speed there. But we'll see if we get more from Ross Chastain. I expect we will as the week goes on. But this is the initial statement from Ross. And you know he will indeed be ready for Talladega. Those Trackhouse cars are usually pretty good on the super speedways. Obviously, Suarez winning at Atlanta earlier this year. But let me know what you guys make of this accident between Ross Chastain and William Byron. Let me know what you make of Chastain's statement right here. Let me know in the comments below.